Hi, it's Angela here. Hello. Hi, everybody. Hi, everyone. How are you doing today? Just coming from the shops. Now I'm trying to talk to you guys. How are you feeling today? I'm still here since my corona vaccine. The last video, I think I told you that I had my second one, and I'm still okay. We've had some really lovely weather recently. But today the weather is very, very damp. It's been raining for the last 2, 3 days. But it's still okay. Nice to get some nice cool weather for a change. Anyway, what you guys doing today? I hope you're blessed and I hope you have a blessed day. I hope you do everything today to make yourself feel great. The first thing I do in the moment I wake up, I pray to God to help me through the rest of the day. Ask Him to guide me and protect me. And I'm sure you guys are doing the same thing. Anyway, I'm looking at some birds out my window. It's like they're lovebirds or something. They kind of play with each other, picking at each other. I doubt it though. But anyway, it's just a short video, guys, to say that I'm still here. And I hope you all are having a great day. I hope you're all finding it a peaceful month. We're soon through this month. It started and now it's nearly finished, to be honest. I think it's what month, what day is it? Today is what? Today's the 19th. My goodness. It's nearly done. Just started and it's finished. Starts and now finish. I was supposed to go to a barbecue today, but it was cancelled because of the rain. Don't know what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the day. I might do some weave extension or do some hair plaiting on myself. I want to have a change from this, from this weave cap that I've got here. I make weave caps, guys. I've been promising to put out some short tutorial videos on this, but I haven't been able to do that. But I will do that in the future. I'm still not getting the response that I want to get. I don't know if someone will send me a little message to tell me what I'm doing wrong, what you think I'm doing wrong. I really would appreciate it. What do I need to do to make my videos more interesting so that they will be, interesting to you, so that you want to watch it? Give me ideas. I really do need ideas, guys. So I'm gonna wait for your advice, and when I get it, I'm gonna really look at it and see what I can do, because I really want to improve and send out videos that people will want to see. I watch other YouTubers and some of the things that they're doing, to be honest, it's not that great, but they seems to be getting subscribers and getting likes, and I don't know, everything that I do, it's really real. I'm just a real person trying to do something to cheer myself and to make myself feel like I'm doing something different, something interesting, passed on a few bits of my parts of my life, not all of it, but little bits and pieces. As you know, I work in a college with students who we do prosthetic makeup, hair, and other things. It's a big college, so there's all kind of courses that are held in the college, within the college. But my department is mainly hair and makeup. Not that you can tell from mine, because I don't have that much on. I'm not a person that wear a lot of makeup. But it would be nice if you could send me a little, you know, response to let me know what you would like to see and how you think I could improve and where I'm going wrong and where I'm going right. Um, I don't know if I mentioned the last time that I have been trying to see if I can go to Jamaica. Before the pandemic, I was booked to go to Jamaica. That was supposed to be the July when I broke up from college, from work, but it didn't happen because I had to cancel it. And now I'm looking forward to retire, and I'm hoping to go to Jamaica next year, if not this year. But I'm trying to see how it go with the COVID because it seems as if Britain is going. It's not sure whether they're going to open everything. I know that there are flights to Jamaica, but what I don't want to do is go to Jamaica and then wanting to come back and I have to isolate. I don't want to do that, so I'm still trying to wait. And also, I've got a few things that I have to sort out. My pension. Guys, I'm 66 years old. Tell me what you think. Do you think I look good for my age? People say that I do, but I don't know. I can see it coming. I can see the aging coming. But I do try to look after myself. I always have. I believe that most of my young years, well, not most, I was about 10 when I came to England. I was brought up in the country from that age, from I was, and up until I was about 10, then I came to England. My grandfather planted yam, bananas, and everything that you can imagine. We had fresh, everything fresh. Even scallion, even thyme, even tomatoes, eggs. We would go and take it from underneath the chicken in the mornings. We had goats, we had pigs. So I was kind of brought up on all these things fresh. Apart from a lot of the time my grandma would go and buy like salt fish, things like that, because, well, we didn't have those things. My grandfather made sugar. He had a little mill that he used to make sugar. I remember watching as a little girl the horse. I think it was a mule, not a horse, going around and round, and the juice would be coming down out of the mill into a bucket, and my grandfather would pour it into this round thing, and it would boil. As a child, it seemed like it went on forever and ever. But when I look back now, I realize that my life was wonderful as a child. I had space to run around. There were chickens and there was goats and there was pigs. I think it's just a typical life of most people that lived in the country in Jamaica had. When I look back now, I realize how wonderful it was. But as a child, you don't really think about these things until you grow up and you start to realize how wonderful it was and how you've missed it. My grandfather and grandmom died many, many years ago. I've been in this country now for what? I was about 10 and now I'm 66. Oh God, many years. And I never got to see them before they died. And I'm really sad about that because my grandmother was like my mother. My mom left me when I was a baby with her to come to London, England, to be a nurse. And my mother never got to go back to Jamaica, unfortunately. She died at 53 years old. That was. And I'm still sad. I still miss her. But God, she's at rest and peace. But I still miss her. Sometimes I would like to just talk to her, trying to say to her, Mom, all the silly things that I did as a child, I'm sorry. When I upset you. I loved her and I still do. My grandfather, grandmother. When I do go to Jamaica now, I go back to the country and I sit down and just think back on the little bit that I can remember of my life when I was there in living on that little hill. My grandfather worked so hard. He used to dig the ground to plant yam, bananas. I remember him getting up early in the morning at 5 o'clock, sometime at 4 o'clock to get ready, put on his khaki trousers, khaki shirt, and he had the fork and he put everything on the mule, in the hamper. It was called the hamper. And he would put everything, all the tools that he needed. And you wouldn't see him again until my grandmother said to one of us, "Picnic, come and take this lunch to your grandfather down at Grong." Was it Grong it was called? And one of us would run to take the lunch because we know when we get there and he finished eating, he would give us what he didn't want. And we used to love as children. Well, me myself as a child, I used to love taking grandfather lunch and his coffee in the morning because he left so early he didn't even get chance to have his tea, or breakfast. So sometime we would be asked to take his coffee to him, and it would be my granny would put it in this big container, to take down to him. And we would love to take that, but one thing, we weren't allowed to drink coffee. So, but the coffee was made with coconut milk, and my grandfather, the coffee that he grew, that's what it would be made from, because he grew coffee as well. God, when I look back on it, the life was so great, and I didn't realize it. I remember my grandmother as a child picking the coffee. It was red when it was ripe. I remember the ginger, sitting and peeling ginger with her. Oh my God. There was nothing that my grandfather didn't grow. There was nothing he didn't plant. Because, he had so many grandchildren that was left on him. I think it was about 11 of us that our parents, my mother, my aunties, my uncles, left all of us with my grandmother and grandfather. They could have been rich people, but they had to look after all these grandchildren even after their children were grown up and left home. I never get a chance to thank them. But God rest their soul, they were good grandparents. Yes, of course they beat us. My grandma never beat us though. I remember it was my grandfather. Especially the boys. He did beat the boys when they step out of, put the wrong foot in the wrong place or do the wrong thing or go the wrong place. He was a strict man. But grandmother used to try and keep us girls away from him. She used to say his name was Zeddy. We call him Zeddy, but his name was Zedekiah. Can you believe it? Zedekiah Nairn. Yeah, we were the Nairn family. And Mr. Zeddy, everybody used to be calling him Mr. Zeddy. And my grandmother's name was Cassie. Miss Cassie, although she was Mrs. Nobody called her Mrs. It was Miss Cassie coming up the hill because we live on a little hill. And you could see the school in the morning. When we get ready to go to school, you could look out and see if you're going to be late because you see the children start to line up, to line up for before they go into class. So you would run down the hill, and it wasn't far, to get in the line before, because if you were late, you had hell to pay if you were late to school. So you make sure you run. And in the morning before we went to school, we had to do our chores. Sweep the yard, go and fetch some water because sometimes there was no water in the barrel that we had. We had a little stream at the back of the house, but sometimes there was no water in that. So we had water that we underneath this rock. We used to have to travel a little way. It was fresh water, spring water, and we'd collect it. We as aunties and everybody used to go. And as little kids, we had our little bucket, not heavy, nothing heavy. We weren't allowed to carry a heavy bucket, but we always go. And I remember we used to make little toy drums that we'd be singing on the way and playing our little drums while we go to fetch water with our aunties and cousins, our grown-up cousins, who were older than us. Oh, those were the days when I look back now, they were wonderful days. Wonderful days to remember. Aye. Mr. Zeddy and Casita Dearn, Mount Maria District. They were good grandparents. How many grandparents today would take on 11 grandchildren after their children have been grown up? How many? Not many, you know, because our parents, either they was in England, or some of them was in Montego Bay working, or in Kingston. My Uncle Makuk, Uncle Elick, he was in England, yes, so his children was with my grandmom as well. Uncle Makuk was in Montego Bay. Uncle Sam lived in Maypen, and his children was with my grandmom. My mother, Eula, was in England. My Aunt Hazel was in England. My Uncle Alex was here in England. My Auntie Dada was here in England. Auntie Rose was here in England. And all these grandchildren, she had them, for all of them, looking after them. And I'm telling you, everything he grew, my grandfather, everything he planted, the yam, the banana, the dasheen, we had ackee tree, we had breadfruit tree, we had everything, He used to feed us from all this. It wasn't all the time our parents was able to send money, so everything he grew was for us. The sugar, he used to go to the market to sell the sugar after he made it. Sometimes I remember tourists used to come to actually view the mill, and he used to make the sugar with the ginger, and he would give them a piece of coconut with it, and they would eat the sugar with the coconut. As kids, we used to get a piece. It was nice, actually. But believe me, my grandfather was a good man, although he was strict, but he was having all his grandkids to look after. He had to be strict. Come on, he had to be strict. Now I look back on it, because we were. I remember my cousin, the boy, them used to cut the cane and hide and eat it, and sometimes it was his best cane, to make his sugar. But I'll talk about this story, how I was brought up in Jamaica another time. There's gonna be a part two, guys. You know, and I'm looking forward to go back, retire back in Jamaica. You know, I can't wait. At least spend 6 months there and come back here when it's summer in England. Because my grandkids are here, my children are here. But Jamaica is in my heart. If you'd like to hear a bit more about Jamaica, I come from Mount Maria district in Jamaica, St. Anne's, in the country. That's where I was born. My mother, Eula Plummer. Well, she wasn't Eula Plummer before she got married. She was Eula Nairn. My father, Kenneth Allen. I am Angela Lametta Allen. That was my name before I got married. Become Williams. Now I'm divorced. I'm going back to, to say I'm divorced, that's a long story, because I remarried to an African, but never really took his name. His name was Nasa Owusu Bempa. Nasa Owusu Bempa, but I never took his name. I never had a chance to take his name, because we kind of separated not long after we got married. So, but that's another story as well. So if you really want to hear about it, let me know. And as I said, talk about Jamaica. This is the first part. So looking forward to talk to you about the second part. Jamaica. What I remember, because as you get older, you forget. So tuned in to the next half of this part, second part. If you're interested, let me know. Remember now to share, and if you like it, please share, subscribe to my channel, the Angela Plummer channel, please. I'm really looking forward to speaking to you again. So you take care now. God bless. Um, be happy and be blessed. Take care. Bye.